Good morning, all of you. Yesterday, we already discussed about Q is equal to ms delta T, and in that Q is equal to ms delta T, Q is the quantity of heat, S is the specific heat, M is the mass of the substance, delta T is the change in temperature. Now, in this session, we are going to discuss about one more important topic. It is nothing but specific heat. What is specific heat? Before learning about this definition, we want to recall once again the formula of specific heat. Q is equal to ms delta T. In last session, we already discussed this one. We already derived this one. From this one, we want to write ms delta T is equal to Q. So, therefore, S is equal to Q by M delta T. This is the formula for specific heat. So, with the help of this formula, we can derive specific heat definition. How? Specific heat of a substance is defined as the amount of heat energy is required to convert 1 gram of substance by 1 degree Celsius. Specific heat of a substance is defined as the amount of heat energy is required to convert unit mass of substance by 1 degree Celsius. So once again I want to explain about this definition. Specific heat of a substance is defined S is equal to quantity of heat Q by unit mass of substance M by 1 degree Celsius. So here mainly three terms are very important. First one is Q, quantity of heat. Second one is unit mass of substance M. And third one is change in temperature delta T. So by using among these terms, we can explain about specific heat. Specific heat of a substance is defined as the amount of heat energy is required to raise the temperature of unit mass of substance by 1 degree Celsius. And then in that what is the units for specific heat? So once again we already taken here S is equal to Q by M delta T. Now we want to write CGS units for S. CGS units. Quantity of heat calorie, mass grams, delta T degree Celsius. Calorie by gram degree Celsius is the CGS unit of specific heat. Similarly, SI unit of specific heat, quantity of heat joule by mass kg into Kelvin. So, calorie by gram degree Celsius is the CGS unit of heat, specific heat. Joule by kg Kelvin is the SI unit of specific heat. Then, what is the relation between CGS unit and SI unit of specific heat? Relation. What is the relation? What is the relation? I already told CGS unit of specific heat is calorie by gram degree Celsius. SI unit of specific heat is joule by kg Kelvin. So it is also writes as 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius is equal to 1 kilo calorie by kg Kelvin. Simply it's also writes as 4.186 into 10 cube joule by kg Kelvin. So what is the relation between CCS unit and SI unit of specific heat? 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius is equal to 4.186 into 10 cube joule by kg Kelvin. So in your examination also it is very important half mark question. 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius is equal to how many joule by kg Kelvin? It is 4.186 into 10 cube joule by kg Kelvin. So this is the relation between CCS unit and SI unit of specific heat. Now we are going to tell about one of the most important one. There are so many substances and these substances have different types of specific heat values. Let us see two examples. Here are so many examples, but here we taken only two examples. So with the help of the two examples, we can understand remaining examples. For example, what is the first one? Serial number 1. Substance, specific heat, CCS unit to SI unit. Here, serial number 1, we already taken lead. Lead CCS value is 0.031 calorie by gram degree Celsius. Similarly, in SI system, its value is 130 joule by kg Kelvin. Joule by kg Kelvin. Here calorie by gram degree Celsius. Here joule by kg Kelvin. How is it possible to get these answers? How is it possible to get these values? Let us explain. Listen carefully. Here we already discussed what is the CCS and SI system of specific heat relation. We already taken 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius is equal to 4.186 into 10 cube joule by kg Kelvin. It is also writes as 4.186 into 10 cube is nothing but 4186 joule by kg Kelvin. This means in CCS unit of 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius is equal to 4186 joule by kg Kelvin. Let us explain here. Lead CCS value is 0.031 calorie by gram degree Celsius. So we want to find SI unit of this value. How is it possible to find? We already told 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius is equal to 4.186 into 10 cube joule by kg Kelvin. It is also writes as 4186 joules. So here 0.031 is calorie by gram degree Celsius. Then it is multiple with 4186. So 0.031 into 4186. If you multiply this one, we will get 129.66 extra, approximately 129.66. So what do you mean this one? Do you know this value is approximately equal to 130. 130. It is approximately equal to 130. 130 joule by kg Kelvin. So from this example, what you have to understood? CCS value of substance, we must and should change into SI system. Then that CCS value is multiple with 4186. Then only you will get nearly 129.66 joule by kg Kelvin. Similarly, if you take lead value in a SI system, what about that value? 130 joule by kg Kelvin. 130 joule by kg Kelvin. How is it possible to change into CCS system? How is it possible to change into CCS system? It is this lead in a SI system means 130 is multiple with 0.001 0.000238. 0.000238. Sir, how is it possible to get 0.00238? It is also, we already learned, 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius is equal to 4186 joule by kg Kelvin. It is also writes as 4186 joule by kg Kelvin, that is equal to 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius. So joule by kg K is equal to 1. This value taking after is equal to by 1 by 4186. This value is nothing but 0.000238. So now if you multiple 130, it is the SI unit of lead, multiple with 0.000238, then we will get 0.0309 etc. It is approximately 0.031. So here what we told, here we discussed already, one CGS value changes into SI system. Similarly, we already taken one SI system, SI value change into CGS system. That's why this is also one of the important concept. How is it possible to change CGS values in SI system, SI values in CGS system of specific heat of various substances? But actually in your examination, he is not asking about this one. But how is it possible to get these values? These values are we are obtained by using of this type of mathematical calculations. So in your textbook, he given some values: lead, mercury, brass, zinc, copper, iron, glass, kerosene, ice, sea water, water. All these values are given in our table. So how these values are obtained, we already discussed with the help of an example. First of all, CGS value changes into SI means it is multiple with 4186. If SI value, if you take any SI value, it is multiple with 0.000238. Then we will get the approximate values of the given table. This is also one of the most important concept. And after that here one of the most important question we will expect. What about the important question? Which factor is affecting on specific heat? Which factor is affecting on specific heat? Half mark most important question. Which factor? The factor is nothing but a specific heat is depends upon nature of the substance. Nature of the substance. Nature of substance. Nature of substance. Even though it is depends upon temperature, mass, quantity of heat. But mainly, what is the main factor affecting on specific heat means? Specific heat is mainly depends upon nature of the substance. Okay. Specific heat is depends upon nature of the substance. Once again, we want to take in the definition of specific heat. S is equal to Q by M delta T. Here S equal to specific heat, Q is the quantity of heat, M is the mass of the substance, delta T is the change in temperature. So here specific heat depends upon these factors, but unknown factor and most important factor is nature of the substance. Here also there is also one more important question, Amma. That important question is nothing but what is the relation between specific heat and temperature. It is also one of the important concept. What is the relation between specific heat and temperature? Here, specific heat and temperature is inversely proportional. S is inversely proportional to delta T or T. So where this type of answers, this type of questions are we will expect in your examination, you want to give in some tables. In the tables, there are some values, substances and CCS values and SI values of specific heat. If temperature is more, what about the specific heat value? Less. If specific heat is less, what about the temperature? More. So what is the relation here? What is the relation between these two? These two, the relation is inversely proportional. And after that, one more important question. That one is nothing but why specific heat is differ for different substances. Why specific heat is differ for different substances? If you observe the table, lead value 0.031 calorie by gram degree Celsius. If you take in mercury 0.033, if you take in seawater 0.95, if you take in water 1, why different substances have different types of specific heat? This means it is also one of the important question. How is it possible to explain? We already discussed. What we discussed? Kinetic energy is directly proportional to absolute temperature. Kinetic energy is absolute, directly proportional to okay, we already learned kinetic energy is directly proportional to absolute temperature. This means if temperature is more, kinetic energy is more. If kinetic energy is more, temperature is also more. And we already learned there are so many types of molecules. There are so many types of molecules in a system. And they are having different types of energies. What are the energies? Rotational kinetic energy, rotational vibrational energy, potential energy, kinetic energy between the molecules. And the sum of all these energies is simply called as internal energy. The sum of all these energies simply called as internal energy. If you supply or apply this heat energy to that system, the molecules are absorb this energy in different forms. The sharing of this energy simply change from one substance to another substance. If heat energy increases, automatically its kinetic energy increases. But all the molecules are not receiving this heat energy simultaneously. This is vary from one substance to another substance. That's why specific heat of values of different substances have different values. They are not same. Any two substances not similar. But some of the cases maybe it is common because they have the similar molecules, similar types of energies. So here main difference is they can share that heat energy. It can vary from one substance to another substance, one energy to another energy, one molecules to another molecule. It is quite different. That's why specific heat is differ for different substances. So it is also one of the most important 4-mark question. Define specific heat. Why? Specific heat is differ for different substances. So we can write above all these, then we can easily get 4 marks. And after that, one of the most important concept, it is also we will expect 4 mark question. Define specific heat and write the applications of specific heat in our day-to-day life. Applications of specific heat. First one, in that first one, oceans. Do you know, entire our earth is surrounded by the water bodies. Those are nothing but oceans and seas. In daytime, you can observe sun delivers a lot of amount of heat on the earth. Most of this heat energy received by oceans. And oceans absorb this heat energy more. That's why oceans are called as storehouse. Storehouse. Storehouse for the earth. For the earth. This is important bit. Which are acting as storehouse for the earth. Oceans. Oceans. Okay. At equator, if you take on the earth is not similar. It is elliptical shape. So at equator, there are 2 poles, north pole, south pole. At equator, these sun rays are fall vertically on that equator. The water which is present at equator, it can absorb the heat energy. It can absorb the heat energy. And this heat energy is being transferred towards north pole and south pole. Towards north pole and south pole. Because of this transformation, north pole and south pole, they maintain a moderate climate on the earth. They maintain moderate climate on the earth. So here, which one maintain moderate climate on the earth? Oceans. Why? Oceans consisting of water. Water has highest specific heat. It is also most important one. Water has highest specific heat. We already told. Enter the table. Water has highest specific heat. 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius. 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius. So ocean consisting of water. Water has highest specific heat. Because of this one, we can observe the moderate climate on the earth. So here, one of the most important application is oceans. And what about second one? Samosa. I think everybody interested to take in this samosa. The samosa, I think it is quietly prepared in our neighbor houses, in our houses, and while we are traveling in bus or trains, we are buying this type of samosas. Do you observe the samosa? If you touch the samosa outside, if you touch the samosa outside, how it is? How it is? It is, if you touch means it is cool. Not too much cool, just cool. But while you are eating this samosa, then we may feel that it is hot. How is it possible? How is it possible? It is possible because samosa consisting of some ingredients, inside some ingredients. These ingredients have high specific heat. These ingredients have high specific heat. That's why while eating samosa, we may feel that hot. So it is also one of the application. So what about this application? If you touch the samosa from outside, then it is cool. While we are eating the samosa, we may feel that hot because the samosa consisting of ingredients. These ingredients have highest specific heat. So this is a second application of specific heat. And the third one is watermelon. Watermelon. In summer days, everybody must and should likes this watermelon because there are so many fruits available in our summer. But especially why we want to interest to take watermelon? Watermelon consisting of nearly 95% of water. There is no other fruit to maintain this water in their bodies. If you are taken that watermelon, we may feel very comfort. How is it possible to explain? What is the mechanism involved in that watermelon? For example, if you take in watermelon, not only watermelon and remaining some fruits also, and you can place it into the fridge. After half an hour or 1 hour, you want to open that We may brought watermelon and along with other fruits, and after some time, after 10 minutes, after 10 minutes or after 15 minutes, go and touch these fruits. Which fruit maintain coolness? Only watermelon maintain coolness for a long time. Why it is maintained? We already discussed it consisting of 95% of water. So watermelon consisting of 95%, around 95% of water. This water has highest specific heat. Water maintain highest specific heat. Due to that one, this watermelon maintain coolness for a long time. This is a third application. And what about next one? Water is used for flame fighting. Flame fighting. So in summer, there are frequently fire accidents that occur. So in that one, we want to pour water. We want to pour water. If you pour water on that fire, the fire will stop. How is it possible? We already told water has highest specific heat. Because of this highest specific, it may control the heat. So water is used for flame fighting. It is also one important one. Next one, tea in a flask. I think if you observe kettle or a flask, if you touch that, we are not observing any hot. But when you pour this tea in that cup, if you touch means how do you feel? The tea is so heat, so hot. So how is it possible to maintain? Here the difference is nothing but specific heat. Outside it is very cool, not only normal. But if you pour the tea in that glass, if you are taking that tea, you may feel that hot because that tea has highest specific heat. Similarly, cold water in a bottle. Drivers and the farmers, oftenly they are taken some bags to their fields in summer time. And if you touch that bag, it is normally normal. But if you take in water from that bag or bottle, they are very cool. How is it possible to cool? Because we already discussed. There is water. Water maintain more specific heat. That's why if you touch outside, it is normally. But if you are taking that water, we may feel that very cool because water maintain highest specific heat. So these are all our applications and very important applications. We will expect most important 4 more question. Applications of specific heat. Totally how many fields are there? Oceans, samosa, watermelon. Water is used for flame fighting or fire fighting. Next, tea in a flask, cold water in a bottle, etc. But in our textbook, only he given 3. First one is ocean, second one is watermelon, and third one is samosa. But we already here discussed 2 or more. Okay, so it is also very important one. And after this one, we are going to discuss about one of the most important activity. It is nothing but method of mixo. Method of mixo. Method of mixo. Method of mixo. So we want to take in title mixer. What do you know about mixer? Mixer means it consisting of 2 or more substances. 2 or more substances. Method of mixo. Method of mixo. How is it possible to explain about method of mixo? Method of mixer main principle is net heat lost. Net heat lost is equal to net heat gain. Net heat gain. It is also discussed net heat lost by the hotter body is equal to net heat gained by the colder body. This is the principle of method of mixos. It is also most important. One more question. One more question. So what is the principle of method of mixos? What is the principle of method of mixo? The principle of method of mixer is net heat lost by hotter body is equal to net heat gained by the colder body. In other words, it is also writes as net heat lost is equal to net heat gained. Net heat lost is equal to net heat gained. Okay, so how is it possible to explain? There is one formula. There is one formula. That formula is T equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. This is the formula to find resultant temperature of the mixer. Resultant temperature of the mixer. The resultant temperature of the mixer T is equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. How is it possible to get? How is it possible to get this formula? Where we want to use this formula? Let us explain in detail. So for that we required one activity. One activity. It is nothing but activity 7 from your textbook. Activity 7 from your textbook. So what about this activity? How is it possible to explain about this activity? How is it possible to get or obtain T is equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2? So listen carefully. Once again here we require 2 beakers. I want to take in 2 beakers. This is the first beaker and this is the second beaker. In first beaker and second beaker we have to pour 200 ml of water. 200 ml of water. Then we can apply temperature. I want 60 degrees Celsius. 60 degrees Celsius. Both are attained 60 degrees Celsius. Then I want to pour these 2 beaker water into a large beaker. Into a large beaker. Then with the help of the thermometer, once again we have to find the temperature. So what about this temperature? This temperature is nothing but 60 degrees Celsius. Why? Because in first beaker 60, second beaker also 60. But what about the average temperature here? Average equal to 60 plus 60, that equal to 120. Average means by 2, that equal to 60 degrees Celsius. This is situation 1. Situation 1. In situation 1, what we taken already here? First beaker, second beaker, we collected here 2 beakers and also we have to pour 200 ml of water in each beaker. Then we want to heat 60 degrees Celsius. After getting of 60, then these 2 beakers water poured into a large beaker and we have to find the temperature with the help of the thermometer. And its temperature is also 60 degrees Celsius. That is situation 1. Now we want to take in situation 2. Situation 2. What is situation 2? Here we want to take in same. We want to take in water similarly. But first one is we want to apply the temperature 90 degrees. Second one we can apply 60 degrees Celsius. Then once again same process. This total water is poured into or transformed into another large beaker. And here with the help of the same laboratory thermometer, we have to find the resultant temperature. How much the resultant temperature here? Once again 90 plus 60 average. It is nothing but 150 by 2. It is approximately 75 degrees Celsius. This is situation 3. So in situation 3 what we taken? We want to take in same equal amount of water, 200 ml of water in first test tube and second beaker, first beaker and second beaker. In first beaker we can apply 90 degrees Celsius and second beaker we can apply 60 degrees Celsius. Now both are having different types of energies and this total water is transformed into large beaker and with the help of thermometer we have to find the resultant temperature. The resultant temperature is 90 plus 60 by 2, that is nothing but 150 by 2, 75 degrees Celsius. Now we want to take in situation 3. Situation 3. So in first beaker we have taken here only 100 ml of water. 100 ml of water, it is heated at 90 degrees Celsius. We want to take in second beaker. In second beaker we have to take in 200 ml of water and it is heated 60 degrees Celsius. Here both quantities of water are different, both temperatures also different. So once again what we want to do, we want to pour it into a large container, and we have to find the resultant temperature of that water. The resultant temperature is, we will expect, what about the resultant temperature? That resultant temperature is nothing but less than 90 degrees Celsius and more than 60 degrees Celsius. 60 degrees Celsius. So once again, what about the third situation? In third situation, we already taken 100 ml of water in one beaker, 200 ml of water in second beaker. First beaker is heated at 90 degrees Celsius and second beaker is heated up to 60 degrees Celsius. Then here the two components, quantity different and temperature also different, and these two are poured into one more large beaker and we have to find the resultant temperature. We have to find the resultant temperature with the help of clinical laboratory thermometer. Then what about that final temperature? That final temperature is must and should be less than 90, more than 60. Less than 90 and more than 60 degrees Celsius. So among these three situations, first situation and second situation and third situation, here we want to take in mass of first one, mass of first sample, mass of first sample M1. Next, mass of second sample, mass of second sample M2. Next, first temperature T1, it is hot, and second temperature T2 degrees Celsius. Next, resultant temperature that is nothing but T degrees Celsius. So with the help of these three situations, we already taken here mass of first sample M1 grams, mass of second sample M2 grams, first temperature it is nothing but a hotter sample, it is T1 degrees Celsius, second temperature it is nothing but T2 degrees Celsius, next resultant temperature it is T degrees Celsius. Then how is it possible here? How is it possible to obtain our formula resultant temperature? For this one we already discussed, we want to use Q is equal to ms delta T. Q is equal to ms delta T. Q is equal to ms delta T. So here by using of this one, and also we want to use one more formula. What about the formula? The formula is principle of method of mixer. Net heat lost is equal to net heat gained. Net heat lost is equal to net heat gained. By using of this formula we can explain. First of all, we want to take in net heat lost by hotter sample. Net heat lost by hotter sample, that is equal to Q1 M1 S T1 minus T. How is it possible to get this formula? This formula is taken from Q is equal to Ms delta T. Q1 is equal to M1 S T1 minus T. Let us say it is equation 1. Why here we want taken T1? T1 is the hotter sample, I already told. M1 is the first sample, first mass sample. T is the resultant temperature. Similarly, net heat gained by colder sample. Net heat gained by the colder sample. That is nothing but Q2. Q2 is equal to M2 S T minus T2. This is second equation. How is it possible to get? It is possible from Q is equal to Ms delta T. Q2, mass M2, S specific heat of water. T is the resultant temperature. T2 is the colder sample. So, colder sample only gain heat. That's why we want to take in this equation. So, with the help of these two equations, with the help of first equation and second equation, we will get the resultant temperature. So, once again, how is it possible to get Q1 is equal to M1 S T1 minus T? It is by using of Q is equal to Ms delta T. Here Q equal to Q1, M equal to first mass M1, S equal to specific heat. Delta T means change in temperature. Here hotter sample is T1 and resultant temperature is T. That's why here we taken T1 as base, T1 minus T. That is equation 1. What about second one? Q2, Q, that equal to mass M2. S is the specific heat of water. Next, T minus T2. Here T2 means T2 is the colder sample. That's why here we taken T2. Next, from 1 and 2. From 1 and 2. From 1 and 2. From 1 and 2, we have to write Q1 is equal to Q2. Why Q1 is equal to Q2? Net heat lost by the hotter sample is equal to net heat gained by the colder sample. That's why here Q1 equal to Q2. So once again we want again Q1 equal to M1 S T1 minus T, that equal to, what about Q2? M2 S T minus T2. Here what are the similar terms? S similar terms, they are get cancelled. Then what about remaining one? Remaining one M1 T1 minus T, that equal to M2 capital T minus T2. Now we want to multiply M1 into T1, M1 into T1, M1 into T1, M1 T1 minus M1 into T, that equal to M2 into T, M2 T minus M2 into T2, M2 T2. Next, minus values taken one side and plus values are taken another side. So here M1 T1, this minus value taking this side, that is M2 T2. Similarly, here minus value taking this side, it is nothing but M1T plus M2T. M1T1 plus M2T2 is equal to M1T plus M2T. So here what is the common? What is the common between these two? T is the common. So I want to take in T is the common. T is the common, that equal to M1 plus M2. Now we want to derive final resultant temperature. That's why once again here I want to write T into M1 T1 is equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2, and I want T, so here T is taken as common. So T is taken as common here. It is also writes M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by, because this is the into term, taking after is equal to M1 plus M2. M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. This is the important derivation and most important 4 marks derivation. So what about this formula? Capital T is equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. This is an important formula. So how is it possible? We already discussed step by step. Equation 1, equation 2, from 1 and 2, we have to balance these two. Q1 is equal to Q2 because net heat lost by the hotter sample is equal to net heat gained by the colder sample. That's why Q1 is equal to Q2 here. M1 into S T1 minus T, that equal to M2 into S T minus T2. Here similar terms S and both sides get cancelled. So M1 into T1 minus T is equal to M2 into T minus T2. Now we have to multiply M1 T1 minus M1 T, that equal to M2 into T minus M2 T2. And next M1 T1 plus M2 T2, because minus terms taking this side means plus, LH side minus L taking that side means RH side means plus. So M1 T1 plus M2 T2 is equal to M1 T plus M2 T. So what is the common here? Here T is the common. So M1 plus M2. Next, what we want to find? We want to find the resultant temperature. So it is taken as this side. T into M1 plus M2 is equal to M1 T1 plus M2. Finally, capital T is equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. This is the most important formula. Then what is the use of this formula? Okay, sir, we already derived, we already observed, we already achieved this formula. Then what is the use of this formula? Where we want to use this formula? Generally, there are some solutions. One solution is mixed with another solution. Calculate resultant temperature. Calculate resultant temperature. For example, we want to take in some milk, and if we add some water, then these two are mixed. Then how is it possible to find its temperature? How is it possible to find temperature? Some of the oils, one oil is mixing with another oil. Then what is the final temperature, or what is the resultant temperature? For calculation of this resultant temperature in our day-to-day life, we want to applicable this formula. Let us explain one problem. What is the problem? This problem also important. That problem is nothing but 50 grams of water is heated at 40 degrees Celsius. 150 grams of alcohol is heated at 20 degrees Celsius. Then these are mixed. Calculate resultant temperature. Calculate resultant temperature. So this type of problems they are more expecting in our examination. That's why first of all read the problem clearly. 50 grams of water is heated at 40 degrees Celsius. 150 grams of alcohol is heated at 20 degrees Celsius. Then these are mixed. Calculate resultant temperature. Calculate resultant temperature. So how is it possible? Let us take a solution. What about the solution? The solution is nothing but, in that given problem, mass of first sample. Mass of first sample M1, that equal to 50 grams. Next one, initial temperature. Initial temperature of first sample. T1 equal to 40 degrees Celsius. Next, mass of second sample. Here second sample is alcohol. M2 is equal to 150 grams. Here also temperature. Temperature of second sample. T2 that equal to 20 degrees Celsius. Then resultant temperature. Resultant temperature. What is resultant temperature? So we already learned what about the formula of resultant temperature? T is equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2, that equal to, from our given problem, what is M1? M1 equal to 50 grams. 50. What about initial temperature? Initial temperature T1 is equal to 40 plus, what about M2? 150. And what about T2? 20 by M1 plus M2. M1 50, M2 is 150. So here 50 into 40, 5 fours 20, remaining 2 zeros, plus 15 twos 30, remaining 2 zeros, by 50 plus 150, 200, that is equal to 2000 plus 3 is 1000, 5000 by 200. 2 zeros cancel, 2 ones 25. So what about the resultant temperature here? Resultant temperature T is equal to 25 degrees Celsius. 25 degrees Celsius. So once again we want to see this problem. This is also most important 4 marks problem. What about the problem? 50 grams of water is heated at 40 degrees Celsius and 150 grams of alcohol is heated at 20 degrees Celsius. Then these two are mixed. Calculate resultant temperature. For that one, solution. Mass of the first sample M1 equal to 50 grams. Initial temperature of the sample means here water. We want to take in here, this is water. And also M1 equal to 50 grams. Initial temperature of water is 40 degrees Celsius. Mass of second sample, what about here? It is alcohol. Alcohol. It is 150 grams. Temperature of second sample equal to 20 degrees Celsius. These are all values we are taken from our given problem. Then resultant temperature we have to calculate. Then what is the formula? Resultant temperature capital T is equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. That equal to M1 50 and T1 equal to 40 plus M2 equal to 150, T2 equal to 20 by M1 equal to 50, M2 equal to 150. Here 5 fours 20 and remaining 2 zeros. So 2000 plus 15 twos 30. 30 plus 2 0, 30 here 2 zeros, 3000 by 50 plus 150, it is nothing but 200. So 2000 plus 3000, it is nothing but 5000 by 200. 2 zeros get cancelled, 2 ones to 25. So finally resultant temperature T is equal to 25 degrees Celsius. 25 degrees Celsius. So this is one of the most important 4 marks problem. Every time, every year, we will expect one of the problem in our examination. Okay, once again, in our session, we already discussed about one of the most important concept. It is nothing but specific heat definition. Let us recall what we have to learn already. Specific heat. What is the specific heat? Specific heat is defined as the amount of heat energy is required to raise the temperature of unit mass of substance by 1 degree Celsius. Then what about the formula for that? Q is equal to ms delta T. In last class we already derived. From that one, S is equal to Q by M delta T. So this is the formula for specific heat. This is the formula for specific heat. S is equal to Q by M delta T. So now we want to write units. CGS unit equal to calorie by gram degree Celsius. SI system equal to joule by kg Kelvin. Then what is the relation of CGS system and SI system? We already wrote here. 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius is equal to 1 kilocalorie by kg Kelvin. It is nothing but 4.186 into 10 cube joule by kg Kelvin. It is also writes as 4186 joule by kg Kelvin. Then where we want to use these formulas, let us, we want to take in one table is given in our textbook. In that table, he given some of the substances and specific heat values, CGS values and SI values. What are the examples? So lead, mercury, brass, zinc, copper, iron, glass, aluminium, kerosene, ice, seawater and water. These are all are some substances are given in our textbook. Let us, we want to take in only 2 examples here. The 2 examples are nothing but lead and mercury. Lead CGS value 0.031 and SI value equal to 130, mercury 0.033 and SI value equal to 139 joule by kg Kelvin. Then how is it possible to get these values? How is it possible to get these values? 1 calorie by gram equal to 4186 joule by kg Kelvin. We want to take in CGS value of lead. It is nothing but 0.031 calorie by gram. Then it is changes into joule, means it is multiple with 4186. So we will get a 129.66 approximately. So it is also approximately equal to 130 joule by kg Kelvin. Similarly, we want to take in 130 joule by kg Kelvin. Then this value changes into CGS system. That's why it is multiple with 0.000239. How is it possible to get this value? 1 calorie by gram degree Celsius equal to 4186 joule by kg Kelvin. 4186 joule by kg Kelvin equal to 1 calorie by gram. 1 joule by kg Kelvin equal to 1 by 4186. It is nothing but 0.00238. Then our joule value multiple with 0.000238. Then we will get 0.0309 etc. It is approximately 0.031, which we already taken in our table, 0.031. So like this, we want to derive CGS values changes into SI system and SI values changes into CGS system. So here we want to expect one more half-mark question. Specific heat is, what is the factor affecting of specific heat? It is nothing but nature of the substance. S equal to Q by M delta T. Specific heat and temperature. What is the relation here? The relation is inversely proportional. Specific heat is inversely proportional to temperature. And we already told kinetic energy is directly proportional to absolute temperature. And there is also one most important question which we already discussed. Why specific heat is differ for different substances? So we already discussed this important question. And also next one, applications of specific heat. Applications of specific heat, according to our textbook, only 3 applications are there. But here we already discussed some more. First one, oceans, samosa, and third one, watermelon. These 3 are given in our textbook, but extra we already given water is used for flame fighting or fire fighting, tea in a flask, cold water in a bottle. These are the applications of specific heat. And after that, we already discussed method of mixers. Method of mixer, it have one most important formula. Net heat lost by the hotter sample is equal to net heat gained by the colder sample, and resultant formula T is equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. For that, we already demonstrate one activity. With the help of that activity, we already taken 3 situations: situation 1, situation 2, situation 3. And with the help of that one, mass of the first sample M1, mass of second sample M2, first temperature hot temperature T1, second temperature means cold temperature, it is T2, resultant temperature T. By using of Q is equal to Ms delta T, net heat lost equal to net heat gained. Net heat lost by the hotter sample Q1 is equal to M1 into S T1 minus T. This is obtained from our formula. and this is first equation. Q2 is equal to M2 into S, T minus T2. It is second equation. From 1 and 2, Q1 equal to Q2, S cancel, and here we can take in T is as common, capital T equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. And after that, there is one problem we derived on the basis of capital T equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. So 50 grams of water is heated at 40 degrees Celsius, 150 grams of alcohol is heated at 20 degrees Celsius. Then these are mixed, then calculate resultant temperature. So mass of first sample we already taken M1, initial temperature T1, mass of second sample M2, temperature of second sample T2. By using of our formula, T is equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. It is nothing but we already get 25 degrees Celsius. So it is also very important, and this is one of the most important topic. So thank you one and all.